Welcome. This is a quick analysis of what is going on with crypto at the moment, and straight to it. Let's go to the tether dominance. And obviously, from my previous videos, 1618 here has been a top call for me. And what is the potential of it not being the top, or us retesting this level after a rejection? And just looking back in history, on November 2021, October 2021, you can see this pinpoint here, which is the 19th of October. That marked the first high for Bitcoin, right? Let's go to his over here. Remove this shit. Let's see. We can see that on the line that as soon as 1618 is struck on the 20th of October, or the 19th of October, rather, that marked the pretty much pico top of the 2021 bull market, right? Obvious that we can see a secondary try, but that high is insignificant. It's like 2%. Not too dissimilar to now. It's a second drive, right? Second drive 1618, meaning we get a 1 reset. We measure the first one. It moves down. We retest 1. We can remeasure from this move, and it extends to a secondary 1618. Similar thing is occurring right now. How many times in history has this occurred? Only once, right? However, there is another scenario that is worth noting as well, honorable mention, but it's from a very early time in the market in 2019, and you can see the measured move here, swing high, swing low, and the 1618 is produced, and there is one test, a retest, and another push to the 1618 here, which is technically a secondary drive after a 1 reset, but it also shows us behavior that extensions past the 1618 is possible, not without a reset to 1 though, right? In saying that, we've never seen, conclusive 3 drives where the primary 1618 of the tether dominance is hit, right? Meaning the primary, meaning the first one is hit. It hits the 1618. It goes back to 1, creates some sort of momentum measure like this, and then goes up, which we can remeasure as a new 1618. Hasn't happened just yet, 3 drives. So what we're looking for, I think, at the moment is a slowdown, optimistically, for altcoins, because, well, not for altcoins, for Bitcoin, so that it takes a bit more time to hit this 1618. Otherwise, once we hit this, everything beyond this point is sort of an unknown, right? The expectation generally is that this will maybe retest 1 time, and that is sort of the last stop that you might get out of the market, or it goes back down and the bear market begins. So now is a very, very important time to stay particularly, frosty and acutely aware of where the market may be positioned once the 1618 hits, and should your altcoins not be at all-time highs and stuff, there is a high risk scenario that you're playing out, because I do believe that 1618, once it's touched, there will be at least a correction to this 1 level, right? So once 409 is hit, 4.09% is hit, there will be a sharp correction, probably, well, 100% probability. And I think that sort of gets a big shake from probably Bitcoin. Like, our hope would be Bitcoin gets shaken out and altcoins start pumping after it bounces from the 1 level. But that's a crazy bet to take. So what I will be doing is, once 1618 is tagged, de-risking off a lot of things. So at the moment, let's have a look at the positions I'm in. And I actually tried to add some Bitcoin in, and I actually closed it because it was the wrong number. But that's besides the point. We have our Bitcoin still in along, and I've got my stop here. The Trump trade that I took yesterday, I just saw the structure of it looking good, and meme coins were looking decent. Trump is sort of like I guess, has a lot of mind share in the space in terms of memes, given that, you know, he's the president and whatnot. But in terms of the unlocks in a day or two, that's a bit of a worry. I'm thinking potentially there's a big push before the unlocks occur, a scam pump, if you will, so insiders can exit. But got a Trump trade going there. For DOT, there was 10 minute indicator in terms of my long indicator, which allowed me to, you know, get some entries. 10 and 15 minutes. So a bit of confluence there on both indications, where the entry just made sense and the risk made sense as well. What else do we have? We have Near protocol. Near, I think, has a good opportunity to go up due to the AI intersection narrative with crypto. And Link is another one that had a very similar structure to DOT in terms of their indicator, very similar thing. Also held within this golden pocket region. I did enter at the 065, which is the lower region of the golden pocket, and it also had the indicator as well. So there's confluence there, made sense. You're better off in these scenarios when the tether dominance is approaching 1618 to just take longs on indication, because especially during this phase of the cycle in the final expansion, likely going to continue to rally up until 1618 is tagged on tether dominance. We have Bitenta as well at the moment, sort of at like this resistance level. We want to see it push past this quite soon, but because there's only a little bit of headroom in the 1618 region for tether dominance, this structure might not, you know, be surpassed. We need to, I guess, be watching that very carefully in the next few days, and whether or not it can push through, and the behavior of the market. Because what I can sort of see coming, well, I can't foresee the future, but should we end up pushing up, say to like 130 or something, like here, and maybe that is the ultimate high. Let's see. Apologies. I'm just trying to get the right. Is there right? No, that's not what I want. I want the one down here. The start of the move. Start of the move. Log. Right. So for this particular move, right, from the bottom of this move, we could expect potentially 127 to 133, right? Generally. I think this was the same principle throughout this whole cycle that has worked as a place to be looking for tops in confluence with the, what do you call it? Confluence with the tether dominance as well. So within the 4236 region and the 4618 region, and it sort of looks like the space that we have anyways to the 1618. So once we enter this sort of region, push up into this region, we're probably going to see some sort of major euphoria in terms of people saying it's going to go to 150, 180. I know that I have my 150 target in mind, as it is the major target that I've had this entire cycle. But we need to be watching this level. I guess once the 1618 is tagged, I'll probably exit this long, and there's potentially a big push down that occurs for this one reset. I could be completely wrong. I'll keep some long open in terms of BitTensor to see what happens next, but I'll be locking in some profits so I don't lose a good chunk of change if a correction is to occur at that point, which is highly likely. Just be aware of that. What happens after that is literally anybody's guess. I can't really provide guidance there, except that, you know, you would bet not everything on it going up even more. But be careful. I don't know how else to word it. It's a dangerous part of the market. There's a lot of volatility that is ahead, and retaining full exposure if you've entered late or you're underwater at this 1618 level would be ill-advised in my opinion, and could be a dangerous situation. What is good though in terms of what's positive in the market is Ethereum is approaching, well, it's bounced off the 2618 low and it's pushing towards this RZ, which I think could be the top of the Ethereum BTC chart, which from my calculations puts Ethereum like at 7,000 to 8,000 or something, maybe, yeah, 7,000 to 8,000 ish, which is, you know, not a bad thing for altcoins, because we need that liquidity to pour into the market and rotate into our shitcoins. Whether or not that happens, we'll have to see. I think that's it, guys. Hopefully that has helped, but yeah, keep an eye on 1618, 4.09%, and watch your heads. Cheers.